from a very young age, I was naturally inclined to a plant-based lifestyle, mainly because of some trauma that I suffered when I was young and experienced my mother passing away when I was, excuse me, around 8 years old. So I kind of became really sensitive to death and this idea that people disappear and how much pain it brings into people's lives. And the same thing applies, I think, for animals. If you think they're humans, animals, we're all beings, we all have feelings. And so I became really sensitive to death and decided I didn't want to be involved in bringing that upon any other beings if I could help it. So I think that's kind of what made me sensitive to plant-based diets in the first place, as well as a love for animals. My best friend growing up when I was little was my dog. So I've always had a very close and loving relationship with the animals in my life. So I just couldn't conceive of doing any harm to innocent creatures like that.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for sharing, and we're so sorry for your loss. Losing a source relationship is very hard, and especially in your formative years. You're very young when that happened. Even so, when it happens when we're older, it's difficult. I lost my father to the pandemic, and it has just been extremely hard. So my heart goes out to you. But in the wake of these traumatic events, which are neurophysiologically reshaping of our lives and of the ways we think, they often contribute to the transformation of our value system. And it seems something similar happened to you, where you realized the sensitivity towards all species, all living beings, and all sentient beings, and it drew you to plant-based living. Um, well, Sayuri, just as a quick follow-up question, did you experience any challenges when, as a young person, you decided not to have meat or dairy?
Well, it definitely, I waited quite a while to implement those changes in my life because I also have a bit of a guilt complex. So I don't like putting people out of their way. I don't like causing trouble for people. So I figured I didn't want to put my parents out of their way to make special meals for me and this and that. So I kind of waited a little bit until I was out of the house on my own to adopt fully this type of diet, a vegetarian diet, when I left home. So I certainly waited, but I definitely agree that what happened to me in the past transformed my view of things and made me see the world in a different way than I would have normally had I not been through that.